Hello everyone! We are inside right now, but we are actually going to go outside to the garden today, which is making me so happy. So we're doing two things today. One, I'm gonna check on my spring bulbs. I doubt anything has sprouted yet, but I'll show you what they look like, how they've been covered over the winter, and then talk a little bit about when I will uncover my bulbs. The other thing we're gonna do is put a greenhouse on one of the raised beds that has 200 tulip bulbs in it that I have all my fingers and toes crossed are actually going to bloom. If you haven't been here for a while, let me tell you that I have had trouble keeping my bulbs alive over winter. So this year what I did is I covered them and I did not add any extra water. I covered them to keep the moisture out. So I can't guarantee we're gonna have the beautiful bulb show that I imagine in my head, but I am still hopeful, especially with this greenhouse edition. Now, I currently in my garden have raised beds, cedar raised beds from 4 different companies that I've just been collecting since 2019. So I have 4 beds from Gronomics, I have 2 beds from Epic Gardening, 3 from the Charming Bench Company, and then 1 bed from Cedar Planters, and this is for that bed. I like all of my cedar beds. I feel like in terms of function, they all function pretty much the same way. There are differences in each and things I like and not really don't like, but things that I think are beneficial in different ways for different beds. I do plan to do an empty garden tour this month where I'll go into the specifics of more of my containers. And then I will also link down last year's video, but a few of the containers I have now weren't there last year. I think this one might be my favorite overall from Cedar Planters for 2 reasons. One, the beds have metal legs, which from my very novice level research seems to be a better option for a metal leg sitting on a wooden deck in terms of deck protection rather than a wooden leg sitting on a wooden deck. So that is the main reason. The other reason are the accessories. I find that this comes with a lot of accessories. So I did get the bed sent to me from Cedar Planters because I'm going to do some photos for them, assuming all the bulbs bloom. But I purchased the cover that's currently on my bed and this greenhouse. And if I could go back in time, I think I would probably have most of my beds be like this bed and then have all the accessories, because when you're only growing in raised beds, I feel like the accessories really do matter. And to be able to cover the bed in the winter, keep the bulbs from getting too wet, to be able to have a greenhouse over it to, one, protect the bulbs or protect cool season crops. I really like that, but I am not going to start all over again because that seems like a terrible idea. But at least I do have 1 bed that I can play around with. So today we're gonna set up the greenhouse, then we will go outside. I will take the cover off, put the greenhouse on, hopefully, and then I will show you all the bulbs that I have. All of my bulbs are planted on the back deck, which is that way and faces east. There are no bulbs, I'm pretty sure, on the front deck. In fact, I need to do a lot of cleaning out in that deck garden once we get ready for the garden season. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna put this together. So I'm gonna set this up in here and then take it outside. And I do know that the sound of the metal pipes clinging together isn't the most relaxing sound. So I might put music over this part, we'll kind of see. But I'm just gonna follow these instructions. There's no words, just pictures. I find that greenhouses are usually pretty easy to put together because there's the bottom frame, the curved pieces go on the side, and then you connect them all with the connectors. So we'll get this set up, get it outside, and put it on the bed, which does involve a tool. So we have long straight, short straight, and then all the curved ones are the same. And it appears as though we do long, long, 2 longs on one side, 2 longs on the other side, and then is it the long or the short to connect them? It is the short. And then I'm just connecting using these, which I can tell that this one will go in the center, these ones will go in the corner. So the frame is done, very simple to put together, probably took me less than 2 minutes. I do think I need to connect this to the bed before the cover goes on, so let's go head outside. I don't think I need a coat. I think we're in the 40 degrees here, although to be fair, I am wearing 3 layers of tops. Please fit, and you do. Well, not with me. There we go. So this right here is a Cedar Planters bed. I think you can tell, but there are metal legs that also have these little protectors. So that is one thing I do wish all of my beds had. I'm pretty sure all of the other beds are just the wood on the wood, which, because both of those materials are porous, again, isn't the best option, but that is the option I have right now. So that's what we're gonna go with. Right now I have the winter cover on. There are, again, 200 bulbs in here, 200 tulip bulbs. I'm gonna take the cover off. I don't know if I'm gonna store it yet because maybe I wanna throw it on something else, but that's gonna come off. The greenhouse is gonna go on, and then I assume, because I have to screw the frame in, when I wanna take the greenhouse off, I'm gonna have to unscrew it, but that should be fine. One thing about this bed placement is that right now it's in front of where our air conditioning units are, and if anyone needs to access them, fingers crossed, no repairmen do, but if they do, this can't be here, and I'm going to need to move it after my tulips bloom. So what I think my plan is, because there's no way to move this bed with the soil in it, it weighs way too much, I'm going to wait till I remove the tulips at the end of the spring, at the end of their bloom cycle. I'm going to empty out all of the soil into a tarp, and then once the bed is empty, I can move it on my own, but I don't even think my husband and I can move this together. Maybe I'll try, but I think that's gonna be my plan, and it's gonna move somewhere, I think up against the wall over there, but everything is not in its correct place, so that's why this is sitting here for now. And plus that way I can see the tulips that are going to bloom through the windows. You cannot come outside. We 3 stories up. You will jump off and hurt yourself. You cannot be trusted out here. You can watch though. You good boy. Here's how this bed looks right now. So nothing again is poking through the soil yet, which it's still way too early for me to start worrying about that. I had that pile of garden waste on there because the cover did have a hole in the top where water could get through. So I was trying to prop it up. I will just lay that all out like a little bit of mulch. I could if I wanted to, because I don't think this is completely frozen. No, I could if I wanted to dig down and see if a bulb has sprouted or rotted, but I don't think I am emotionally prepared to do that right now. So I will only do that if we get to the point in the season where I think I should see some sprouts and don't yet. But for me, that normally happens probably early April. So the frame goes, looks like it sits right on top of the ledge of the bed. The anchors have a hook on one end, and that is what sticks over the greenhouse. And then looks like I just screw it into place, I think. All right, one screw in. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Now, I feel like since this doesn't line up 100% evenly, I'm hoping I can still get this screwed in enough for all 4 sides to stay in place. See, so since it doesn't line up quite right, I don't know, because if I hang this here, then it doesn't hit the wood. So I don't think I was supposed to fit it on the outside because it's not the right dimensions for that. So I might just not put it on this side and just do the front and back here. I mean, that feels pretty secure. I have the cover. I make sure the zippers face the correct way. And I was expecting this to hopefully look a lot more graceful. There we go. You guys, we have a greenhouse. I am so excited. Let me take you up close and show you some of the things I just discovered that it has. So zippers are on the correct side. I am having a hard time zipping them all the way down, which I'm hoping is going to be okay, but there are 2 layers. So there's the plastic greenhouse layer, and then there is this mesh layer. So that can let air in, whereas the greenhouse obviously won't. So I'm wondering if well, no, I think it's going to rain tomorrow, so I'm going to close the greenhouse. But that is nice, especially when it gets warmer, to have that option so I can let some air flow through, but still protect it from any critters. I don't know if any birds are really going to care about the bulbs, but just in case. Let's do a quick check-in on my other 3 raised beds. So these are the 3 from the Charming Bench Company. These are much lower, which does help protect some of the flowers from the wind, but this is what they look like. This brown tarp was just thrown over the top. I had the tomato cages in to kind of lift it up off of the soil a little bit. Nothing yet sprouting there. Nothing yet sprouting in the middle one. And then the final one over here, I actually used an old greenhouse cover because I had to get a larger greenhouse to fit all my plants. And I know you can't see through here, but I can see through here, and nothing yet is coming up. So that is the state of my bulbs. I am going to cover these back up because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. All right, so my final thoughts. 1, I'm very excited to have a greenhouse on one of my raised beds. Again, both to protect the tulips from too much water, but I can look through it and watch them grow. I do wish the frame fit. I feel like that should. Again, I'm like 95% sure I got the correct size for my bed, but there is always room for user air. Hello, it's next day, Bethany, and I have a quick update. As I was laying in bed last night and I was in that phase between not awake but not quite yet asleep, I think that's when my brain is the smartest, because all of a sudden it like clicked in my head. Did I push the metal bars all the way into the connectors as far as they can go? So this morning I went outside and I just shoved the pipes together more, and now it does fit the size of the bed. It is raining today. I think it's gonna rain tomorrow. Once I get some clear skies, I will go back out and put the rest of the brackets on. But I just wanted to throw this in here to let you know that it was, in fact, a user error. Back to the video. And then I was having trouble closing the zippers all the way. Other than that, I think it's going to be a very good addition to the garden. I don't know, because again, I'm not gonna get rid of beds that I'm already using, but maybe I can make some sort of greenhouse cover on my own. We'll see if I actually get to that this garden season. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you could figure out how I could have gotten that frame to fit correctly, because maybe I am just missing something. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.